We, the descendant of Gullah Geechee culture, are here to control the narrative.
It was a blast. It was always something to do. We always hunt, fish, crab. You know, we were always outside. It was always something to do. I mean, red light, green light, stop, baseball.
Find them some OGs to talk to.
Right.
You know, people in the neighborhood, and that's the OGs got to step up too.
Right.
Like,
There
you
we
know,
go.
we got to
There you
teach
go.
these kids
We
because
role
they don't
model.
This is our culture, and it's time for us to act accordingly.
So, tell the people who's watching your name, where you're from, and your occupation.
Sure, I am Dawn Boren. I'm from Give Hands, which is a part of Ridgeville, South Carolina,
Okay.
right out of Somerville. And I work in IT.
Sweet, sweet. So tell us about your childhood in Ridgeville. What was it like growing up in South Carolina?
Oh, it was a blast. It was always something to do. We always hunt, fish, crab,
Right.
you know, country stuff. And then my mom lived up here in the city, so we got both, you know, both worlds.
Like
But-
countryside, city side.
Yeah.
So how do you compare that childhood to like the kids growing up now in this Gen Z era where it's kind of technology driven, it's iPhones and iPads and Snapchat versus you growing up and it's crabbing and it's fish and we outside. How do you compare those two eras?
We were always outside. It was always something to do. I mean, red light, green light, stop. Baseball, we play a lot of softball. Like I said, we fish. We used to go digging for worms. And now my children are on their iPad.
Yeah.
So I have rules, and they get angry with me, but I take electronics away so that they can experience those things. And I find them having fun outside.
My name is Latoya Bryant, and I am from St. Stephen, South Carolina. And I am a hairstylist, and I am a salon owner, Bella Beauty Salon.
All right.
I've been doing hair for about, oh my gosh, honestly, since I've been in middle school.
Wow.
Since I've been in middle school.
So this is something you always known that you wanted to do?
No. No. Growing up, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, to be honest. I was all over the place.
Right.
Once I got out of high school and went to college, played around with that, to be honest. Didn't take it serious.
Right.
I decided, you know what, I think I'm going to just try to do hair.
So
then I went to hair school and got my license
Here
and
you are.
doing it since, yeah.
So something like business and entrepreneurship, that's probably something that's very important to you.
Very. I didn't grow up with much.
Right.
So trying to have something and build the future for my future kids, building that generational wealth is my focus right now, to be honest. I just want to give my family and my future kids something that I didn't have.
So how about you, sir?
Well, my name is Donovan Brown. I'm from Alvin, South Carolina, born and raised. My occupation is a manufacturing supervisor at Albany International in St. Stephen's. And I'm also slash owner of Carolina Hot Boy Hot Sauce, as you can see.
Oh. Branded, that's
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
talking about. So tell me, Donovan, what was it like growing up in South Carolina? Tell us a little bit about your childhood.
Well, I mean, my childhood was typical childhood for a country person. I grew up, with my mother and father.
Right.
My grandmother and my grandfather, they used to keep us active. You know how the new age children, they're just in the house and they go on the cell phones and the computers and school.
Yes.
We used to be in the garden.
Right.
We used to, be out in the yard playing, kill the man with the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Football
We call
in the
that
yard.
throw up tackle.
Right, there
That's
you
what
go.
we
There you go. So I used to do things like that, back in the country, man. Every
Right.
Saturday morning, I used to hate it, but my mom would wake me up, and we would go to my grandmother's house because they had fields and all this land,
Right.
and we would pick butter beans and okra and tomatoes, you know, every Saturday morning. That was our chores.
Right.
You know, cutting grass, things of that nature. So typical country life.
Right. Would you say the same, Toya? How would you talk about your childhood?
Very similar. Country
Right.
girl. My
Yep.
mama had a garden, so I'll be out there helping her in the garden, cutting grass. Being outside, playing with the kids in the neighborhood, riding bikes,
Right.
things like that. So very similar.
Yeah, and Donovan kind of gave me a perfect segue because I want y'all to talk about the difference of the new age Gen Z kids who don't really get that experience of being outside and being in community and sweating and drinking out the holes in the backyard.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
You know, they
Tap
iPad, tap water.
Tap water.
They
That's what
iPad
it's
and Snapchat. So
Right.
how would y'all compare the difference in the eras with the childhood, and how could we kind of bring that back, that childhood that we were so familiar with growing up?
Man, it's real tough, man, because I mean, with new times, it's new things, and everything evolves over time.
Right.
You know, we didn't have all of these luxuries. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have the tablets.
Right.
You know, all these high tech video games that was pretty much occupying the youth's mind. It was all so simple back then. You know what I mean?
It was.
You go outside, you
It
play
was.
till it's dark,
And
you
come
come
back
on
in.
in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now these kids don't even want to come out the house. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like just video games, cell phones, tablets. It consumes their mind.
Right.
And it's really hard to get back to that, man. I mean, if you got good parents and they instill that in you, I mean, that can work. But
Right.
it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, definitely social media. Social
media.
really is a big
It's
distraction.
a game
these days.
changer. It's
Right.
a game changer. You can do something at 13 and it be with you, you know, for the rest of your life.
Right.
I'm Dr. Sean Mitchell. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. By day, I'm a dentist. I also founded a clothing brand where I'm a creative director. And I also have a photography and videography company, ILE. I would say my childhood experience was kind of like, you know, I grew up in Charleston, West Ashley. It was kind of unique. Kind of feel like we grew up in a vacuum, grew up in a bubble. What I thought was normal growing up in Charleston, as soon as I left the city, I realized we was not the normal ones. Everybody else was kind of doing a different thing.
Right.
So we had different philosophies, we had different ways of moving.
Right.
But growing up in Charleston, man, you start to learn of small things like pick a side, like
Pick a
who
side.
you with.
Right.
You really can't teeter in the middle.
Right.
So usually you learn how to pick a side. You learn how to loyalty is really big.
That's the word that came to my mind, loyalty.
Loyalty is huge.
Yeah.
So I got 5 brothers, so we kind of created our own little group and our own little clique based off of how we were born. So I always had a group of people that always had my back. So I think that was kind of unique for like where we grew up in Charleston.
How would you compare that childhood to the childhood of our youth today, this Gen Z, more technology driven?
Yeah.
You know, you don't see that real community kind of outside like we had growing up.
That's true.
How would you compare the two eras of growing up?
I think with our era, we were saved by the fact that major life events weren't recorded.
You couldn't put this on Instagram.
You had no Instagram to put it on.
Right.
Just imagine your first couple of fights in while you was little, being on Facebook forever.
That is a great analogy, man.
Think about the first time you tried to holler at a girl and she dated you, and that's on tape forever.
On everything I love, I just saw that on TikTok.
You see what I'm saying? It happens every day.
This dude asked the girl to the prom, and she like told him no in front of the whole cafeteria, and
Exactly.
and a million people saw
A
that.
million people saw that, not just the cafeteria.
Wow.
So like I have moments in my life that was just sheer on just embarrassing moments, but they're
Right.
not crystallized. They're just hearsay. And most of the people involved with those moments have forgotten about them.
Right.
So it's like it never happened. Versus a Gen Z where it's like you never forget about them. You never forget about your mistakes. They have a very small margin of error in life. Like,
Because they're under a microscope.
yeah, so something they say when they're 13 can stop them from getting in college when they're 17, 18.
Wow.
Everything gets snapped. Every decision they make is recorded. So it's like you gotta actually fortify them within the community as in who they are, because now that the internet has access to them, the internet can mold who they are, what they think of themselves. So we gotta stay on the forefront of that. That's why I try to be as public as possible with my images and what I'm doing, to have something for those kids to latch onto that looks like them while this world is growing so rapidly. So.
My name is Kristen Smalls. I am from St. Stephen, South Carolina, and I'm a child care director at Betty's Daycare and Preschool.
Sweet. There she goes. What's up?
Hi. I was a happy child, very studious, always studying, always ready to learn. I'm the baby. I have two older brothers. Very sheltered, just very comfortable. The rural South was all I knew, and I loved it.
So how would you compare that to like the Gen Z kids that are growing up in today's culture? I mean, we were outside all day playing and, you know, just having fun, and these kids are kind of really technology driven, iPad, iPhone, Instagram.
Well, I mean, physical activity was definitely a must growing up, and I see now that a lot of them don't like outside.
Exactly.
Trying to get them to move and exercise is really difficult, but they're very tech savvy.
Right.
They help me.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So they're advanced in certain ways, and in certain ways, you know, they got to do a little bit of catching up, and need to focus on some things because physical activity is very important.
Right. Tell the people at home, what were you like in high school? I envision a lot of high school kids watching this. So, what was Kristen Smalls like as a high school student?
Well, I mean, I said I was sheltered, but I, man, to be honest, I love school. I love school. I love the work. I always challenge myself. I was in honors classes. I took AP classes. I just knew at a young age that you just have to put the work in, and I love the praise. I love the praise of when you do well. Right. You know, and I always wanted to be known as someone that was intelligent. I wanted to be known for my intelligence, and I was known for my intelligence. So it just pushed me. People say, "Oh, you smart, you got this." You know, that just that pushed me to be better. Right. And so I'm still like that to this day.
Tell the people what you do.
I work in IT.
IT?
Yes. So
what does IT stand for?
Information technology.
Okay, so you work in the realm of tech, STEM,
engineering, enterprise architecture, things like that.
Talk about the importance of that industry.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool that we get to go out in the community and talk to the kids about STEM, and we can tie it into Gullah Geechee. Right. Like we can talk about science and why the environment is changing our coastline. Wow. That affects the crabs. Wow. We talk about how much we need them in STEM so that they can create and be innovators in our culture.
How do we make that happen?
We just need to go out, like outside of my job and outside of volunteering in the workplace. I go out into my community and I mentor. I try to make it fun, because they use STEM every single day outside of electronics. Right. They use all kinds of things, and they were in. You're making Kool-Aid. I tell them, you know that's science. You know, you're mixing different elements. Do you know that's science?
Come on.
I try to make it fun, and they are in awe.
That's interesting. I mean, I like how you did that, because that's a very relatable analogy.
You make chili bear?
Come on, man.
You make a chili bear? That's science. I am an author.
Did you always want to be an author?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, that was my first love.
Wow, so your first love was the arts.
Yes.
So talk to us about our books. What was the first book you wrote?
The Candy Lady.
The Candy Lady.
No, it was The Crab Crack.
The Crab Crack.
Yes. The Crab Crack was the first. The little girl is Dawn.
Hey, Dawn. It's just so beautiful to see, you know, our images on a book that was written by us for us.
Yes.
That's not something that we see, and I think it's important for our children to see that. So, like, yeah, the Crab Crack, the Candy Lady.
Yes.
This is the second one.
Yes.
Chili Bear, $1.
$1. Everybody knows about Chili Bear.
And then you have another book entitled
Yes.
A Palmetto Holiday.
A Palmetto Holiday.
Talk to us about this number right here.
This is special
Tell us why.
because it highlights our Rose kids. They get such a bad rap in the city, outside of the city. I've witnessed it myself, and we want them to know that we love them.
Right.
We appreciate them saving our culture, because that's what they're doing. They are making history.
So tell us about the Rose Kids.
The Rose Kids. So they make our staple palmetto roses, and they sell them. Sometimes they give them away, but for, you could say lunch money.
Right.
And we just wanted to show the process in a little way, and also let them see themselves.
Right.
Like, what you're doing is not bad.
Right.
The culture needs it. And we appreciate them going out in the community, because that's community service also.
It is.
A lot of people will flock and just they're in awe of what they do in seconds. And they've learned this for how many years? We don't know.
It's rich.
It is rich.
And like you said, the way they get treated and the misrepresentation
That's
is
right.
is disgusting.
It is.
And so creating a book like A Palmetto Holiday that's
Yes.
basically, an ode to our, man, come on.
To our ancestors.
How that's so remarkable.
It is.
I-
I want them to know how remarkable they are.
And so every child should be reading that.
I got a few occupations.
I know, right? And that's beautiful. We want to hear them all, because we see the Sweetgrass logos, and we might as well start there, man.
Okay. So with Sweetgrass,
Sweetgrass Clothing Company.
Sweetgrass Clothing Company is a clothing brand that I founded with my brothers. So let me just give you a little history on how me and my brothers work. Me and my brothers basically, despite all our petty grievances, we still brothers. We still, we do the same fighting, we do the same tapping. We still had the same arguments like we was when we been churning.
Sibling rivalry,
siblings and just like that.
Yeah.
But we understand in the world we stand together.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I had an idea for a clothing brand.
Right.
I naturally brought it to the Six. They all backed it, and they just was basically like, well, we just gonna follow your lead, and then they all backed it, and then we was able to create an entire clothing brand. Now,
that's heavy, man.
if you look at our mother has been taught us Black history our whole life. The natural place for us to start a clothing brand was within our own culture, the Gullah Geechee culture.
Right.
And then you're reading all these books on history, and it's like you're not realizing as just proximity to your history.
Right.
Just having it around.
Right. It's
Just having
natural
sweetgrass
to you.
baskets around and putting your keys in and when you come home, your keys go into a sweetgrass basket. You know what I'm saying? Your mom put the fruit in the sweetgrass basket. Like, you know the history of it, but like as you get older, you start to see the significance of that history. And that's why we created all of our brands around sweetgrass, because it was always around us, it was always there. Once you get old enough to start doing your own research and looking deeper and deeper into it, you start to figure out why it's always been there.
Right.
And why it's such an important thing for your community and your culture. And I decided, they made me the creative director, so most of the designs and the marketing, the advertisement, that's me.
So you're a clothing line director. You create
so
clothes.
creative director.
Creative director of a clothing brand.
For me, that me and my brothers founded. I went to dental school. So I went to dental school. I'm a HBCU straight on through. Went to South Carolina State. After South Carolina State, I went to Meharry Medical College. There's only 2 Black dental schools in the country, Meharry and Howard.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went to
Wow.
Meharry.
So there are only 2 schools where you can become a Black dentist in America?
So it's predominantly Black.
Right, predominantly Black.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
so it's
gotcha.
Meharry Medical College
And Howard.
And Howard.
So you went to school to be a dentist?
Yes,
You're a dentist?
I'm a dentist.
A Black dentist?
I'm a Black dentist.
From Charleston?
From Charleston.
Black dentist from Charleston who has his own clothing line.
Yeah, but I'm not the best. I'm not even the best dentist in my family. My brother's a dentist.
Wow.
He way better than me. He's far more.
Brothers don't usually just admit that.
He's far more accomplished.
It's not even.
He's the one that showed me the levels of mastery. He showed me the depth of mastery.
So
if you put your energy into a skill set, how good you can actually get at it. I approach it to be the best in the world. I want to be the best globally. I want to be the best person. When you write history, my name got to go up there. So I'm trying to be MJ. I'm trying to be Kobe. I'm trying to be LeBron of whatever I do.
Dentist, clothing, production,
videography, photography. I'm studying the best photographers. I'm studying the best videographers. I'm watching the Scorsese films. I'm watching Spielberg. I'm watching Spike Lee joints. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the Hughes brothers coming up.
You're doing that due diligence, that research.
I'm figuring out what makes them great, because it's not osmosis. It's an actual formula that makes people great, and that's what people think that talent. You do have to have talent. Genetics is a part of it, but there's another thing that when you go past all of that, that you gotta have in order for you to enter greatness. And I studied greatness, but my brother is the person that had introduced me to what mastery could give you in the world. And my brother's a very humble, very, very, very humble man. And once I started meeting people who are masters, I realized that a lot of masters aren't arrogant men or women. They're very humble people. They have a very good common touch. It's like if you ever listen to Kobe talk about basketball, he talks about it with so much wisdom,
right?
Because that's what mastery is a self process. It's an internal process.
You got to go inside.
You have to go inside to learn. So you shoot a shot and the shot miss. That's not an external thing. You can't blame the ball because your body was the mechanism that propelled the ball. So you have to study your body to understand how to make your body make that shot going every time. So they know self.
Well, I'm glad we talking about this because these kids see Steph Curry and they think they're gonna just wake up and shoot from 40.
But Steph Curry probably put up 500 to 1,000 shots a day.
That's what they don't see.
And that's what you can't see. You can't see that part of the process because that part of the process is not made. It's not glamorous.
Right. You got to be up 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
You have to. When everybody go that way, you go that way.
Well, I took a completely. It was a completely different direction. I wanted what I thought was prestigious. I wanted people to look at me and knew I was. Just know I'm smart.
Right.
And so that pushed me in the legal field.
Right.
And so I went to law school and I graduated from the University of South Carolina School of Law. I thought I was going to be practicing law, and for a little while I did.
Right.
For about 3 years I worked in criminal law. I did personal injury and everything. But I went back to my roots. I was redirected that way when my mom, she had a few health issues. And I grew up in the center. My mom wanted me to help with the kids and everything.
Right.
So it was like second nature to me.
Right.
And that's something that I ended up doing, and I thought that it was going to be a limited time because I wanted to be the lawyer. I wanted to be the one driving the fancy car. Everybody knew, that's Kristen. She's successful. That was my superlative. That's what I was known for, most likely to succeed.
Come on,
and
somebody.
So that's what I wanted. But I didn't realize that helping my community, that was bigger.
Right.
Being an attorney, you definitely are in the community, you definitely are helping others, but it was a flip side to it.
Right.
I was in criminal law. I was helping our black youth after they already made mistakes, after they already did things, and a lot of times the criminal justice system, they were convicted. It was very sad and heartbreaking. And I'm able to help our minority youth before they even advance into something, or go to the wrong direction. Right. I'm able to help them now. I'm able to guide them. They might not remember my name, but they'll remember my spirit. They'll remember the happiness that they felt stepping into the center. Right. They'll have that child development, that growth that I was able to, and my teachers are able to provide for them. So I feel that how I was growing up, that motivation all of that was in my spirit just continues to grow throughout my failures, throughout my redirections. I just feel like I have a purpose. I feel like I'm walking in my purpose.
Purpose. That's very key, because that's kind of what I talk to the youth about a lot. Finding your purpose, your passion, and then turning that into, your day-to-day operation. So if you can kind of highlight what's that like at the daycare center as director, what goes on, because that's beautiful work. And it's something that's very important to our community, like you said, getting back to community. So talk to the audience about that a little.
Day-to-day operations of what I do. Parents see me every day. Greeting in the mornings, I'm there. I'm never missing. I'm always there.
Right.
Children know me. All of my children in the vicinity know me.
Right.
I'm the type of director, I'm very hands-on. I train my teachers. I'm in the classroom if I need to be, to show them, to model for them. I'm in the kitchen, with my cook. I'm doing the paperwork. Just today, I wake up 5-something every morning. Sometimes I have to be to the center till 9-something doing paperwork, because there's a teacher shortage out there as well for child care centers.
Right. Just being committed.
It's a hard job, but walking in your purpose takes commitment. Whatever you choose to do, you have to be committed to it through the ups and through the downs. You have to be willing to put the work in. Receiving a blessing is not, that's easy. You can take that in. Oh, it feels so good to get this blessing. But to maintain that blessing, that's the difficult part.
And what comes to mind when you think about the words Gullah Geechee, the phrase Gullah Geechee?
It's a way of life, man. I mean, down here, I've been a few places, but there is no place like Charleston, South Carolina. South Carolina, period. We got a different style, a different way of talking, a different swag.
Right.
I mean, the culture runs deep from slavery on up to 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, it's embedded in us. The way we talk, the way we walk, it's all in us.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you hear the term Gullah Geechee, what comes to mind? Like, because it's popping, it's new, it's fresh, everybody's like, what's going on? So just kind of give me your interpretation when you hear that term Gullah Geechee.
Roots, like the original. We are the first, like we are direct descendants of people that died here, that traveled a journey. That in itself makes you feel strong.
Right.
Like how strong are the people that you came from to have survived that journey here. So it gives me chills sometimes. It is.
The main thing I want people to understand about the Gullah Geechee people is we never accepted bondage.
Right.
We fought for over 100 years actively, guerrilla war, in Charleston.
Yes, sir.
Against
Rebellion.
bondage.
So talk. I want you to just go more deeper into that culture, the Gullah Geechee culture, our heritage, the significance of it. Like, what's Gullah Geechee all about? What's this?
Geechee. Geechee is like the accent, the twang. It's a Creole of English, English and African dialects. Gullah is a Creole of English and African dialects. It's actually its own language. My mom speaks Gullah fluently.
Right.
So she spoke to us in Gullah when we was in the house. So Gullah is that crystallization of who we are from the Middle Passage in America. It's like us being in between that. It's that constant fight of who you are in the middle, in the midst of being an
Where
American.
You are. Right. Coming from Africa. Coming to America.
Against your will.
Right.
Most of us came from the Caribbean too.
Right.
So they settled us along the southeastern coast of the United States. That's what most of the Gullah Geechee people are.
Right.
We fortified our own dialect. We fortified our own traditions. We brought some traditions like sweetgrass basket weaving. That's found on the west coast of Africa, namely Sierra Leone, which is, I got a lot of fans. A lot of people who support sweetgrass are from that region.
That's awesome.
And as soon as we dropped it, a lot of people from that region reached out to us. About the connection, because they weren't taught the connection really either. So now they're like learning, like, how do y'all have that there? And we like, oh, we exist. Like, There's a group of us that we still.
Hold on, man. So you're telling me because of the clothing company that you're creative director of,
Yeah.
and you decided to use the palmetto rose symbol,
Yeah.
you are now educating, Africans from Sierra Leone about the history.
All over Liberia, all over South Africa.
Come
Nigeria.
on, man.
Once I got my MBA,
Uh-huh.
and I had to study in Ghana and Togo, in Africa, to complete my MBA.
Whoa.
So that,
You studied in Ghana.
yes.
Wow.
FAMU.
Shout out FAMU.
Yes.
What was that experience like?
It was amazing. It's a lot like home.
Really?
The climate, the food is, it's like you're eating at your grandma's house.
No way.
Yes. It's different, but it's,
You can feel that.
you can feel it. You can feel it.
That's interesting because, I was just looking at the map and it's like we are right across. So
We are.
like all the climate and the food that grows is. So how long were you in Ghana?
I was there for, I think, like a month.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Did that experience change you at all?
Oh.
Did it?
Absolutely.
How?
It just made me realize that when you talk about family, sometimes it's not the people that's in your house. Because when you go there, they just embraced me so much, and to see my features in them, it's
Right.
like, oh,
That's crazy.
this is home. Like somewhere, somebody that's in my bloodline came from here. It
Right.
changed my entire life. It made me realize that I have a professor of mine, Dr. Ashley, said, he would always say, we stand on the shoulders of giants. And I really feel like that. Like I have something to give to my community, and it's my job, and it changed me.
When I hear culture, I just kind of think about like the things passed down from generation to generation. I think about history. I think about growth. I think about evolution. Community. I just think about togetherness.
Right.
I also think about growth in community as well, because you want to advance, you want to progress, and just ways to help the people.
Right.
Really.
I want to ask you if you could talk to the kids, directly and give advice to the youth. What would you say to them to try to inspire and motivate them?
Years ago, I used to be a judge, a municipal judge, and I would see our kids come in my court all the time. And I just want them to know that they are special, that just because you make a mistake or the world tells you that you're not perfect doesn't mean that you don't matter.
Right.
And specifically our children in the Gullah Geechee community, absolutely proud of them. I think that they are going to take our culture to the next level.
Right.
They are saving our culture, and I can't wait to see what they're doing. I'm excited. I'm already proud of them, and I'm proud of them. I love seeing them.
That's awesome.
I love hearing them. I love their accent. Don't feel bad about that.
Don't call
That's
us
roots. That's roots.
Well, walking in your purpose is very difficult. It is.
Say it
It
one
is
more
not
time.
walking in your purpose is very difficult. It's a daily challenge and daily struggle. Just because you receive blessings does not mean that you won't receive obstacles. Before you even achieve more,
Right.
I would say set goals for yourself. Set goals for yourself, short term and long term.
Yes.
That's the only way that you can stay focused. If you don't, you're going to be lost. I don't care if it's just something for what's my goal for the day?
Right.
Then move, what's my goal for the week? What's my goal for the month? What's my goal for the year? You have to have that. You have to have that foundation to be able to be consistent. And it's hard to find out what your purpose is. It's not very easy. I'm 33 years old. I just turned 33. And, I didn't know.
Yeah. We learn every day.
I thought it was something completely different.
Exactly.
So it's okay not to know what you want to do for the rest of your life right now.
Right.
Don't pressure yourself. Just set your goals. And when you do that, you will eventually be led to where you're meant to be.
So you as a person need to actually be intentional about what you call or who you call family.
Or friends.
Anything.
Right.
So you need to build your community. You need to build it actively. You don't need to sit on the sideline and be like, well, that's my cousin. My cousin knows some crazy stuff, but that's my cousin. You don't have to fall into that. You have a choice. And you can be like, no, I'm not falling into that. No, I'm not doing that.
Let me go find somebody.
Let me go find somebody else. This guy right here, he sees me, he got my back, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. The bond that you create with this person may be stronger than the bond that you had with the cousin that you was born with.
Right.
And that's something that you may have to look into. You know what I'm saying? So
building that life family
you
that
have
you
to
choose.
build your own family.
Right.
You have to take the family that you got, see what you like. And in some cases, everything might not work out to be like, this is the family. So like I went out into the world and I got a whole nother groups of people that I call family. And as I build that family, these people start to teach me things that help me fortify who I am as a person without me having to compromise myself. That's my advice.
Right.
Build your family. Don't let somebody put you in their game. Make the decision to be like, oh, am I going to be a part of this or not? Don't ever let somebody say that, oh, you a part of this, you in this thing. Because that never ends well for you as a person. Decide where you want to be at. If you saying like, hey, bro, I'm be a lawyer, decide that you're going to be a lawyer and go after being a lawyer. The people around you might not know how to make you a lawyer, but as you go out into the world, you're going to meet another person that's like, you know what, I want to be a lawyer too.
First and foremost, you got to put God first.
Right.
He's going to lead you in the direction you need to go in. Determination, never giving up.
Right.
Be able to take criticism, constructive, whether it's good or bad, and build on that. You know, when I started my sauce business, people used to laugh.
Right.
Like, who is this guy? You know, we heard you making hot sauce. Oh yeah, we heard there's some BS. You know what I mean?
Right.
Laughing and all this joint,
Right,
but
right.
I never really paid attention to the hype. You know, I got my own mind. I'm discovering my own way through life.
Bars.
And I'm gonna do what I want to do regardless, and I'm gonna do it my way.
Yes.
That's what I'm gonna do.
You gotta stay focused. Definitely stay away from distractions.
Right.
Yes.
Like social media, number one, I had to back off of it because
Right.
I started getting distracted. I get off work,
Right.
and the first thing I want to do is just sit in the phone. And you know what? I'm in the phone for hours.
That's how it be.
Yeah, I had to get back focused.
Right.
And like he said, number one is putting God first, praying,
Right.
asking for what you want, and you're gonna get it.
Manifest.
Manifestation.
Come on.
Okay.
I want to start with you, Toya. There's, some advice that you can give to our youth, our younger generation that's going to be watching this. What would you tell them they should be focusing on right now?
Oh man. Number one, they should be focusing on themselves, trying to figure out what it is they want to do with their life,
Right.
how they want to, go to the next level, what they want to do, if they want to go to college or if they want to be an entrepreneur, and to get closer with God as
Right.
well, because
Right.
that's going to be the key to get them to where they want to be, and stop being distracted.
Stay focused.
Stop being a follower.
Ooh, followers.
Stop following these trends.
Okay.
Like this thing can go deep.
Create
Like
your own lane.
create your own lane.
Yeah, don't be like nobody. Be an individual.
Right.
You just to look like and be like everybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not to knock skinny jeans and all this other stuff I
Right.
see, these new
Right.
trends. That's not me.
Right.
And I'm not going to follow everybody else because they go do that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm going to create my own lane.
Right.
You know? So,
And the younger generation just really need to just get on track and get focused. Find them some OGs to talk to.
right.
People in the neighborhood, and that's the OGs got to step up too.
Right.
Like
There
we
we
got to
There we
teach
go.
these kids
We
because
role
they don't
models.
know.
We role
We
models.
didn't have social media like that
Right.
growing up. I'm 33. I think we had MySpace.
MySpace.
And I think YouTube was
Just pop.
but it was
just popping
MySpace.
up.
It wasn't really.
And that was later on,
nothing.
too. That was
but look how much that whole social media platform has grown.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it's a big distraction, man. We got to get our youth back on track,
Focus.
focused.
Bingo.
Self. And just cut the distractions.
Yeah.
To the people watching, that's kind of a sign off. What would you say to them?
I would say Charleston is a gold mine. Everything we need is here. But there are certain, when you get into business, you're going to understand. Some people don't want you to know that it's a gold mine so they can keep the gold for themselves. whatever you do, we need it. There's not enough of anything here. There's not enough lawyers. There's not enough dentists. It's a problem when I opened up my practice and to do dentistry, and the dentist looked me in my face and said, "We ain't had one of you in 25 years." That's insane. That's insane.
I told you I never seen one.
That's insane.
I didn't know they exist,
Whatever you do, we need it.
Right.
So my thing is, with our people is, Charleston, whatever you need out of life, it is here already. But it's going to take us as a community to fortify our walls to build it. You're not going to be able to build it mixed in with people who don't have your best intention at heart.
Right.
So build your community, build your family, build your family, build your community, attach it with other communities that are trying to do something similar, something on the same guidelines of what you're trying to build.
Right.
All right? Fortify your walls and protect yourself and build. That's my advice.
Made it. You made it. Y'all did great. Y'all did absolutely phenomenal.
Now, who tried to talk to who first? So you had pull up on him?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
She pull up on you.
I
How
got a
she did
little
that?
message in the inbox that I needed to
She
holler
jumped in
at
your
somebody.
DM?
Little bird told me, so I had to shoot the shot.
Oh, ain't nothing wrong with that. See now, me and my wife fuss about this. If she jumped in my DM, I tell everybody. I tell y'all right now, she ain't even here. She had jumped in your dog DM.
Yes, sir.
All right. So who picked the first date?
I did.
Where y'all went?
I invited her to the Mexican restaurant.
Why Mexican?
I like tequila. Just trying to get her,
Did you know? Did you try to get her tied up?
Yeah, just
Father
a little
God.
TT. Just a little
Yeah,
TT.
it worked.
Little TT.
You say it worked.
Yeah, we've been together since.
Perfect. Geechee for me.
Boy, look young.
In Wales.
That boy be a gum.
He be what?
He be a gum.
What you mean?
He teething, man.
No man, he gum to bite him.
You bite him
He to come through.
like this. He know it.
He to know it. He
He
know it.
know it.
Yeah, go get that boy some ice. Put some ice on the
Hey,
gum.
chili bear.
Yeah, get some
Grab
chili
a
bear.
chili bear.
All right, hard or cold?
Hot.
NFL or NBA?
NBA.
Sneakers or flip-flops?
Sneakers.
Money or fame?
Money.
Ketchup or mustard?
Ketchup.
Fruits or vegetables?
Vegetables.
Comedy or drama?
Drama.
Reading or writing?
Writing.
Dinner or breakfast?
Dinner.
Sun or moon?
Sun.
Netflix and chill or dinner and a movie?
Netflix and chill.
Formal or casual wear?
Casual.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Phone call, text, or FaceTime?
Call.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snap, or TikTok?
Twitter.
While driving, music or podcast or silence?
Music.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Online shopping or shopping in store?
Online.
Passenger or driver?
Driver.
Pen or pencil?
Pen.
Physical reading or audiobook?
Physical.
City life or country life?
Country.
Working alone or working with the team?
Team.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Sleep with TV on or off?
Off.
Oysters, shrimps, or crabs?
Crab.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Vacation or staycation?
Vacation.
Cash or card?
Cash.
Silver or gold?
Gold.
Smoothies or juice?
Juice.
Sleep with the fan on or off?
Off.
Drums or flats?
Drums.
Rice or grits?
Rice.
Apple juice or orange juice?
Apple.
2K or Madden?
Madden.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Red or white wine?
Red.
You gotta do it all together, huh? You were what?
Victorian.
Oh my god.
Yes, she was, man. Number one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What year?
2007.
07, boy.
That's why I remember.
07.
Ah.
You remember most likely to succeed but not valedictorian? I was like, she about to say it. She about to say it. She about to say it. Oh, she didn't.
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
You should have said. You should have let me. You should have said, "Oh,
Well,
so I remember you were valedictorian."
I thought you
and I would
was-
have been like, "Yes, I was. I'm sorry. I almost forgot."
Number
I'm
one.
gonna be taunting the people now. You can do good,
No, we
even
won't.
if
We
you're
won't.
not valedictorian.
No, but you got to do that. I don't hate when people do that. It's all right to boast that you got. You did a lot of work to get that.
Right.
They don't mind it.
Right.
Yeah, smash it in their face
Yeah.
and smother it. And
One
go
of
like
the
that.
things, one of the things I was thinking about too though was you know how at our school I feel like parents and some teachers they unintentionally
Right.
make it okay for children to settle and not challenge
Oh
themselves.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Most.
That's the
definitely.
big thing because
Even with the like, oh, everybody gets a participation ribbon. Like
no. This
Like,
right
that's
here.
First place.
You sure you want to be in that class? Because it's gonna be hard. That
You sure you wanna
kills
be a lawyer?
me.
You sure you want to be a lawyer?
That kills me.
Maybe you should be HVAC worker.
Even with classes, even with scheduling classes,
Mm-hmm.
you sure you want to take that class? Cause that class is hard now. I'm just gonna tell you. I find that when a child, whether it's a teenager or young, when they tell you something the first time, don't second guess their confidence. Let them have that. They're young, you know, and
Because
you're shaping and you're molding that.
That's adults putting their fears on them.
Exactly. And they become fearful though.
Yeah,
they do become fearful.
Because as a child, you have no boundaries. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't have no limitation. We as adults put limitations on them,
Right.
and that's the same thing. Putting the limitation on. what they think
Exactly.
they can go.
My niece, she is like, I don't know about that class. That's gonna be hard. Where you get that from?
Right.
Where did you get that from? Who said that to you? You know?
Because you ain't never been through it. How you know it's been hard? If you
Yeah.
need
Where
it?
did you get that from? Don't be scared of challenge. You got this. I'll help you. You know? So that I wish.
Nothing too tough. This is fun. So we got heart or cold?
Cold.
NFL or NBA?
NBA.
Sneakers or flip flops?
Sneakers.
Money or fame?
Money.
Ketchup or mustard?
Ketchup.
Fruits or vegetables?
Fruits.
Comedy or drama?
Drama.
Reading or writing?
Reading.
Dinner or breakfast?
Breakfast.
Sun or moon?
Moon.
Netflix and chill or dinner and a movie?
Dinner and a movie.
Formal or casual wear?
Casual.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Phone call, text, or FaceTime?
Text.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snap, TikTok.
TikTok.
While driving, you ready to listen to music, podcasts, or silence?
Music.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Online shopping or shopping in store?
Online.
Passenger or driver?
Passenger.
Pen or pencil?
Pen.
Physical reading or audiobook?
Oh, dang. Audiobook.
Pen or pencil? Oh, I already asked that one. City life or country life?
Country life.
Working alone or working with a team?
Working alone.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Sleep with TV on or off?
TV off.
Oysters or shrimps or crabs?
Oyster.
Beach or mountains?
Mountain.
Vacation or staycation?
Vacation.
Cash or card?
Card.
Silver or gold?
Gold.
Smoothies or juice?
Smoothies.
Sleep with fan on or off?
On.
Drums or flats?
Drums.
Rice or grits?
The rice.
Apple juice or orange juice?
Apple.
2K or Madden?
2K.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Red or white wine?
Red.
That's it.
We been ya, and we gonna stay right ya.
I write ya.